Hey guys, I'm here to review a new book that just recently came out, and it is called Why We Broke Up by Danielle Handler. This book is about a girl named Min writing to her recently ex-boyfriend, Ed, as to why they broke up. And she does this by leaving him a box of all the stuff that kind of reminds her of the memories that they had together, which led them to breaking up. That pretty much sums it all in one brief statement. Two main characters of this book is Min Green, who is a very, I would say, modern girl that I feel like a lot of girls nowadays could really relate to. She is very confident in herself. And to Ed, she is so different and so artsy. And he himself finds that really intriguing because, she reacts to things differently than girls that he's previously have seen and been with wouldn't have reacted. She's just so different. Also, she has this little quirky kind of personality that makes her very, I think, relatable. You could tell she's very intelligent and she can see things in different ways, and I really like that about her. Also, she's an avid movie guru, specifically like movies before her time, with old time actresses, and she's really entranced by that era, I feel. And then there is Ed, who is her ex, and he is just the typical run-of-the-mill basketball star. He's a co-captain with the basketball team, and he's a big deal to the people in her high school. She's just so, entranced with the fact that he's even giving her attention, which I feel like a lot of girls can kind of relate to. So that being said, I found both characters to be quite identifiable and really relatable. They both just seemed, like people I would see in real life and people I would meet, and, I feel like I actually have met characters like them. I felt like Danielle Handler really portrayed the characters well. Now, as far as the pacing goes, the style of this book is a little bit different than most books go. It is written by letters with each object she gives him. So the pacing is kind of slow, and it is can kind of drag sometimes, and you almost kind of feel like, oh, does that really need to be put in there? Is that really necessary? And you kind of almost are just so anxious to see why she broke up with him. I think because of this, I grew to be a little bit annoyed with men, as bad as that is. I never really like to get to that place where I get annoyed with the main characters, but I actually did get kind of frustrated, like, why don't you like him anymore? So yeah, that kind of, the pacing of it kind of ruined it for me. It was really slow, and I felt like I kind of missed a few key points that I wish were put in there. It was kind of one of those books where I could just put it down and come back to it like a day later, and um I wasn't like always anxious to pick it up again and read it. It was something I kind of had to read slowly. I didn't feel it too intriguing of a plot, but I still was very curious as to how it would turn out. Now, as far as the writing itself goes, if you don't know, Daniel Handler is also the author of the series of Unfortunate Events. Yep, he is Lebanese Snicket. Shh. And I kind of did recognize it. I felt the kind of dark undertones of the series of unfortunate events kind of come through this book, but it was definitely not at all like the series of unfortunate events. It's definitely a different kind of feeling, and with a series of unfortunate events, I was always very like flipping through the pages like, oh, what's gonna happen, and with this one, it wasn't like that at all. Sometimes I felt it kind of hard to keep up with what he was saying. He was referencing a lot of material I didn't recognize, so I felt like I was left out of, almost like I was left out of a joke, and I didn't really get it because I didn't understand what he was referencing, which kind of stinked because I wanted to be able to put myself in men's shoes. This said, I'm going to give it the rating of a 2.5 out of 5. I feel really bad for doing this because I really loved his books, Series of Unfortunate Events, when I was a kid. There was the first series that I ever got into and just immersed myself in. And I feel really bad for saying this about, you know, his writing, but I was a little bit disappointed, and it kind of, you know, dragged, and I don't know, I guess my expectations were high, and they just weren't met. But I feel like maybe if I was in a situation where I was going through a breakup, I could read this book again and feel a little bit cathartic. So I don't think it's a totally unreadable, but I feel like it is something I might have to read again, you know, later on in my life to fully understand it. So, I hope you enjoyed this review. The next review I'm going to be doing is Before I Fall. So if you want to see that, click to the next video. I'm going to do this right after this. So I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching. If you have any books that you would like me to review, just put it down in the comments and I'll check it out. Bye.